What's up, everybody? Boy Big Brando, and today I wanted to talk to you guys about how do you find your target audience. Now, recently on Patreon, we've been talking about this marketing. We've been talking about targeted audience, creative blocks, and stuff like that. Everything boils into this one subject of finding your targeted audience and then catering to that audience. So I wanted to show you guys how I personally do that, and this is how I overcome creative blocks where you can't think of designs or you just get into this weird funk. Also, making the sale easier by selling to somebody that they don't know that you exist, but you know that they need your product. So how do you get your products into the faces of those people? And also, how are you gonna make the sale that much easier to the end user? Now, there's no secret sauce to this. There's no get rich quick scheme. This is gonna take some hard work, but at the same time, it's free and it's easy to do. So with just explaining in general, a lot of people hit me up and they say, hey, I wanna start a streetwear brand, or I wanna start a t-shirt brand for car guys, or I wanna start a brand that's geared towards, skateboarders or bicycle riders or whatever. You know what I mean? It could be towards anybody, but you have the idea of starting something and generally who you want to sell to. Now, a lot of times these are big umbrellas that you want to sell to, right? Streetwear, say if you wanted to get into the car space or motorcycle space, there's a lot of different motorcycles to choose from. There's a lot of different car guys to choose from. There's just a lot under that big blanket category. So all you have to do is keep breaking it down and breaking it down. I like to find out one specific person within that group that I want to sell to. So what I do is I design for that one small person and then grow from there. Sounds really weird. I'm going to move the camera down to the whiteboard and explain it a little bit better, but just to explain it to you guys right now, for the people that don't want to watch that, I'll let you guys know how this works. Let's say you wanted to start a t-shirt brand for the car guys, right? So there's a bunch of different guys. You could do low riders, you could do muscle cars, you could do the race cars, you could do the import cars, and there's more out there, right? You could just go into like V-Dub. It's a ton of people that you could sell to, right? So in order to even break into this little industry, you're gonna have to start very, very small. So let's say that you own currently some kind of Honda or Acura and you want to get into like the import scene, right? Which is cool. So you have this car, you already live in this scene, you already know what's going on, you know terminology that everybody uses, the certain lingo, what's cool, what's not cool. You already have that down, right? So you want to get into the car scene, and then now you're getting into that import race car, whatever scene. I'm not from that scene, so I don't know, but I'm just creating an example for you guys. So the import guy wants to start in the car scene. He wants to sell stuff to the import guys, and then from there you could break it down to the guys that are into racing, the guys that are into drifting, the guys that are into just making the cars look cool, where the wheels are like kicked in like this and it's lowered, it's on bags, it just looks fucking cool. Say you wanted to break into that scene, right? So you have those subcategories there. Now you could break it down even smaller to guys that drive Hondas or Subarus or Acuras or Toyotas or whatever the popular car is. You break it down even smaller. Now you could even go into years. There's guys that are specific about the certain year of car that they drive and they want everything to know about that. Now the categories are getting smaller. So say if you said, all right, I want to start in the car category, I want to do the import stuff, I want to get into the guys that are into the cool stance looking cars and maybe just drive Lexuses. From Lexus, you could just go to guys that drive GS Lexuses that are dropped and they're fixing them up to look cool or whatever the case is. Now you're getting into a better category of who to sell to. Now you know where these guys meet up because you can find this stuff on Instagram or Facebook. You could go into Facebook groups made for Lexus, slammed, airbagged, whatever. I'm pretty sure there's a Facebook group for everything out there. You could find where these guys hang out. You could even do it locational, where find meetups around your area. If you live in Los Angeles, I'm pretty sure there's car meets going around. Maybe they're meeting up at a local In-N-Out. Maybe they're, meeting up here and then driving to Newport. Whatever the case is, there is a group for it. And if you're already in that scene, you'll know a lot of the terminology, hashtags that they use, Facebook groups that they talk about. You're going into these groups now and figuring out what they like, what's not there, and you're filling that void, right? So maybe if there's a certain saying that a lot of these guys say with these cars, like maybe there's a certain term that they use for cars that are on bags and they have that, you could put that on there. Or you put, whatever related to that car category can be on the shirt. Does your whole brand have to be about that one design? No, this is just getting attention to your brand from this small group of guys that you want to sell to. So now that you're selling to the small group of guys, you have something that's going to be really relatable to them because you're putting some sort of saying or slogan that they're used to saying on a t-shirt. They're gonna be like, oh man, that's cool. Do you just go into this Facebook group and start selling? No. What you do is you add value. You go into these groups and just answer some questions, man. All you got to do is be like, somebody says, hey, where can I get these coilovers, or what's the best bags to put in this car? Do a little research and answer them back. You don't have to own that car to say, hey, you should do this. All you're doing is giving a suggestion like, hey man, I know some guy that has that same car. He's running this type of whatever. This is adding value to yourself and to the group. Now people are like, oh shit, this person's pretty cool, talking back and forth. Whatever you're doing in there, that's cool. You do not have to sell them right out the gate because you're just gonna come off as some sleazy salesman, you know what I mean? And a lot of times people are numb to that kind of shit and they're just gonna blow you off and be like, oh, this dude's just trying to sell stuff. So you want to get into these groups and add value. If you're going to the car meets, go to the car meets, slap hands, meet people, ask questions, just chop it up just so you could add some sort of value to that scene and they will trust you after that. Now you broke down the subcategories of the big category that you want to get into. You found a small group. Now you're targeting these dudes driving the Lexuses. Now you could go from the Lexus to the guys driving the Hondas, the guys driving the Hondas to the guys doing the Acuras or Scions or whatever other cars out there that is popular in this thing. You're just going from little category, sell there, grow from there, go to the next category, sell there, grow from there, and eventually you'll get to the top of just the car industry. But you have to start small in order to grow big. Cannot take over the world if you can't take over the city that you're living in currently. So start small, grow from there. Hopefully this helps you guys out. Now I'm gonna move the camera down so I could actually write this out and show you guys what I'm talking about. All right guys, here we are back at the whiteboard. So let's talk about finding your targeted audience. All right, you guys heard me talk about the car scene. You heard me talk about how this works. Now I want to do it visually for somebody who didn't really understand what I was talking about. So let's say you wanted to start, let's just say a streetwear brand, right? So we'll just say street. This is the big blanket category that you want to sell to, right? You want to be in the streetwear scene and you want to sell to everybody. That's cool. That's the goal. I understand that. But this breaks down into a bunch of different categories, right? You have like the high fashion stuff like the Supremes and Off-Whites. So we'll just say Sup and then we'll say Off. That's one category. Then you have like the action sport type of streetwear where it could be like some of that skate stuff. So something like Diamond, Huff, and I don't know what other brands are out there right now, but those type of streetwear where it's like a skate streetwear. So we'll just say skate street. And then also you have like the sneaker category where it's like the sneakerheads are into like certain stuff. So you'll have the sneakerheads, right? And obviously they wear basically all of this. They wear that. They also wear that. But they're into their own little category because these guys kind of are making outfits match and stuff like that, tastemaker type of stuff, right? So skate kids could be wearing streetwear like this. The guys that are wearing Supreme Off-White, they could also be wearing high fashion stuff like Louis and Gucci and stuff like that. So having these separated this way gives you a better idea on how much space you can cover by just creating a streetwear brand, right? So let's just say you wanted to get into just selling to guys that are into sneakers, right? So sneakerhead category could be broken down into a bunch of different stuff. It could be guys that wear SBs. It could be guys that wear Jordans, Air Force Ones. There's a lot of different, we'll just say Air Ones, Air Max. So there's a lot of different categories outside of this. Do all of these guys right here wear all of these? Yeah, hell yeah. They could be guys that wear Yeezys, or they could be guys that wear, you know, whatever else other sneakers are out there. They could be wearing them also. But these could be broken down into subcategories, right? So take SBs, for example. If you wanted to sell to just guys that wear SBs, you could go down to guys that wear just Dunks, right? Or the guys that wear Blazers. You know, there's a bunch of them, Janowski's, whatever. So let's break down Dunks a little bit more and say you want to sell to guys that just wear Dunks and pink box Dunks. For any of the SB heads out there, you know what I'm talking about. It could be silver box also. So this category could be broken down even smaller, man. This could be like guys wearing Boca Juniors. It could be breaking down these smaller categories helps out how you're gonna sell and who you're gonna sell for, right? So with this broken down to silver box or pink box SBs, now you could create shirts geared straight towards these guys. When you sell to this small group, you're gonna design for that small group. So how are you gonna find guys that are into pink box or silver box SBs or just dunks or SBs in general? You're gonna use Facebook groups, Instagram hashtags, stuff like that. A lot of times it'll be like SB collector, or they'll just hashtag pink box SB, silver box SB, black box SB, all of that stuff, right? So once you start doing this, you're gonna have a better idea on who you wanna sell to and who you're gonna design for. So let's say you're gonna sell to the guy that wears SBs. He's only into the old stuff like pink box, silver box, black box SBs. Maybe you wanna make a shirt that matches his Tokyo Taxis, or maybe you're gonna make a shirt that matches some shoe from that era of SBs. Now, for anybody that's into shoes, they know that SB Dunks are making a comeback now, so it'll be a good time to actually design stuff for that. With that being said, what you're gonna be doing is selling to a specific guy that you could find on Facebook and Instagram. And are you gonna just jump in and start selling to him? No, all you're gonna do is go in there, answer a few questions, maybe ask some questions, and add value to that group. So let's say there's like a Facebook group called, I don't know, LA Sneakerheads, right? This is, we'll just say FB group. So you go in here, LA Sneakerheads, and they're probably buying, selling, trading shoes in this group, right? If you just went in there and said, hey man, buy my shirts, check out these shirts I have, people are gonna ignore you. They're gonna be like, oh, this dude's just in the group to sell shit. They'll probably kick you out. But if you went in there and say somebody's asking questions like, hey, does anybody have this shoe for trade? Or does anybody know where I could find this shoe? You jump in, answer that question and say, hey man, if you're in LA, why don't you go to Riff? Why don't you go to Footage? Why don't you go to any of these stores, Round 2 or whatever it is, to find that shoe? You could say, hey, I seen this on their Instagram, whatever. Now you're adding value to that group, and that's what you want to do. You want to be able to add value to the group, so when you do come around and sell stuff, people will trust you because they'll say, hey, this guy's been in the group for this long, answering questions, he's a familiar name. Now it's more trusted to shop with you. You're not just coming in like some salesman and saying, hey, buy my shit, because this right here, this strategy will work for Air Max. So now you've already took over the SB guys. Now you're going to the Air Max guys. Or let's say your tactics didn't work for the SB guys, right? So SBs didn't work. Now you go to the Air Max guys that are into 95s, guys that are into 1s, 97s, and so on and so on and so on. You just target these guys now. So maybe somebody's looking for the Sean Witherspoon 97 ones. Be like, hey, I seen them at Round 2 or at Riff for this much, blah, blah, blah. People are asking, talking. You're adding value to this group. And now you design shit for the guys wearing Air Max. That's all it is. You just keep doing this. You have an end user in mind on who you want to sell to, because once you take over this group, now you could go to the guys into Jordans. Maybe they're just into retro Jordans, or maybe OG Jordans from the 80s. You could break that group down. There's guys that just strictly like, 11s. So you could go down and sell to the guys wearing playoff 11s or Concord, Space Jams, Cool Grays, whatever it is. You could just sell to the guy that loves 11s. Now, this is a big category. A lot of people wear Jordans. If you own Jordans, most likely you wear Air Force Ones and Yeezys and Air Max and SBs and all that stuff. But you have a better chance of going to these smaller categories like the guy wearing the 95s. Obviously Air Max Day coming up, you could actually go off of Air Max Day, find out who's asking about Air Max Day, and then go from there. Or just look at the hashtag Air Max Day on Instagram and see every person posting about their Air Max for Air Max Day, whether it was a year ago, 2 years, 3 years ago, and now you have an inside look at the guy that wears Air Max. You could look at his page. You could go onto his Instagram and just talk about, hey, he posted a picture of his dog. Be like, hey, what kind of dog is that? What's your dog's name? Just start a general conversation, because on your Instagram page, here's the pictures. This is what they're going to see. This is your main profile. Here's your profile picture, your link in bio, your name. Once they go on, you're commenting on their page, blah, blah, blah. They're going to go to your page and be like, who the fuck is this guy? And then see your post of your t-shirt designs. They're going to be like, oh shit, this guy's cool. I've been talking to him. Now he sells a bunch of shit. Let me click on his link in his bio and see what he's selling, how much he sells it for. You have a customer that's into Air Max that posted for Air Max Day 2 years ago. You found out that they're into Air Max. You commented on a picture of his dog that had nothing to do with Air Max, but that picture of his dog, and you started talking about it, curiosity got the best of him to go to your page and look at your shit. The first 6 pictures that he sees on your page when he clicks, product pictures are going to be in there. Whatever else is going to be geared towards sneakerheads or streetwear is going to be on there. And he'll click the link in the bio because he's going to say, hey, I've been talking to this guy about my dog all fucking day, and he seems like a cool dude. Who the hell is he? We all do it. Somebody comments on my shit. A lot of times I look at the page and say, hey, do I know this person, or who is this person? Click on their page. If it's not private, I'll look at some of their pictures. I'll look at who they are to see who I've been talking with. Everybody does this. That is how you are getting your customer that wears Air Max, by talking about his dog, going to your page and seeing your products. How else would this guy look at this post or look at your page? He would never find you if you didn't have this one interaction about his dog, or about the concert he went to, or about, you don't have to sell them on the shit. All you have to do is be a human being and actually talk to these people on Instagram. But the best part about it is you're selling to potential customers. This isn't a meme account. This isn't, just some spam account. This is a potential customer because you're starting a streetwear brand for sneakerheads. You found him wearing Air Max by hashtagging Air Max Day. You went to his page, talked about some random picture of a dog, his girlfriend, a concert, his food. That right there, that one interaction in here made him go to your page and see your products. Now your products have to do the rest and say, if your designs are dope, then obviously he's going to click through to the bio and see what you're selling them for. But how else would you find that guy? There's no Instagram, Facebook ads that's going to guarantee that you'll find this one person. And this one person, there's millions of these guys out there. Millions of them have Instagram accounts, Facebook accounts. How else would you get them to look at the shit? You have to put in the work. You know what I mean? You got to be able to put in the work and say, all right, I'm going to go here. I'm going to go find these targeted audience dudes. You're designing shit for the guy wearing Air Max 95s. He was on Air Max Day posting about his 95s. You went on his page, commented some random shit, not just an emoji, but asked him a question to open up the engagement of actually talking. And then he's going to be commenting with you. Boom, sees your page. Now, do that shit to like 30 to 50 people a day. Takes no time. I could hit up 20 people just while I'm taking a shit. So if I'm sitting on the toilet taking a dump, I could be on my phone just looking for other people in Air Max Day and just commenting on their page, right? All you're doing is finding your own audience. You're finding your potential customers to go to your page and look at your stuff. That's all you want, is this guy to look at your page. That's all it is. How are you going to get him to look at your page? By going to his page and asking him one dumbass question about something that has nothing to do with Air Max, nothing to do with you selling shirts. Your general question is going to say, oh shit, this guy's asking about my dog. Boom. You already did your research. You know he's into Air Max. Now he's going to look at your page of your shirt that's made to match some neon 95s or whatever it is, chili red 95s. You have that shirt to match it. You did your research. You know he owns this shoe. Here's the shirt that matches his shoe. Now you got him looking at your page. Your design will do the rest. It'll sell itself. But you got the customer to your page. That's all you have to worry about, is getting the eyeballs there. This is how I run all of my brands. Every single brand that I have, I run exactly like this. I hope this helps somebody out. because this whole thing is all over the place. Obviously, it looks like a big, just crap load of stuff. I know this video's been long. Hopefully it helps somebody out there. I took the time to write it all out just to show you visually what I'm talking about, because these hand motions and me just talking might not come across too good. So that's why I took it to the whiteboard and just said, hey, let's see if somebody will recognize this little pattern and then understand what I'm talking about. Now, if you're having trouble with this, make sure you leave it in the comments. If you got questions, I go back and forth with everybody. You guys know that. Or you can follow me on Instagram, Big Brando TV. And usually I go back and forth with everybody on there. I follow everybody back. Shoot me a DM. I'll try to answer the questions as best as possible. Catch you guys on next one, man. Yeah.